Mni Wakani. Those are Dakota words for water is life. In the American imagination, Indians are the stuff of westerns and history. But this year, we have been reminded that they are modern people with modern concerns that affect all of us. For months, people have been gathering just north of the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, trying to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline, which they refer to as the Black Snake. According to the builders of the pipeline, Energy Transfer Partners, the Dakota Access Pipeline project is approximately 1,172-mile, 30-inch diameter pipeline that will connect the rapidly expanding Bakken and Three Forks production areas in North Dakota to Patoka, Illinois. The pipeline crosses property that is designated private property by the U.S. government, but is disputed by the Sioux Nation. The Treaty of Fort Laramie gave the Lakota and Sioux people the land in Wyoming, Nebraska, and North and South Dakota, north of the Platte River, extending all the way to Bismarck, 40 miles north of Standing Rock. And then things intervened, like finding gold in the Black Hills, and then the Homestead Act, and their land was reduced and reduced and reduced, in violations of those treaties, of course, until there were several reservations in the Dakota areas rather than one great Sioux nation. And in the line of this pipeline, there was a site that they thought might have some sacred significance, but before they could call the archaeologists in to look at it, the pipeline company made sure that they plowed it under so it wouldn't interfere with their plans. So these protests were happening on privately owned land. And so police were called to disperse people. And as more people were on the land, more police were called. And looking at the website No DAPL Solidarity, I found out that police forces were called in from all over, including Indiana, Hammond, Munster, Griffith, Michigan City, the Jasper County Sheriff, the Lake County Sheriff, the LaPorte County Sheriff, and the Newton County Sheriff all sent money and supplies or personnel.
And Brookville.
And Brookville. Where's Brookville?
Southwest or southeastern, near Cincinnati.
Near Cincinnati. To break up these protests. Because even though there was a stay on the pipeline issued in September, they kept digging on the land. And now, in this past week, the Army Corps of Engineers said, no, you cannot cross the Missouri River at this place. And it's a victory of sorts, but it's a short victory. It's not over. According to the Bismarck Tribune, The companies building the Dakota Access Pipeline said they remain committed to completing the project and expect to do so without rerouting the pipeline despite a decision from the federal government that denies the Lake Oahu easement. This is nothing new. This is a quote. This is nothing new from this administration. Since over the last 4 months, the administration has demonstrated by its action and inaction that it intended to delay a decision in this matter until President Obama is out of office. Energy Transport Partners and Sunoco Logistics Partners said in a statement on December 4th. The White House's directive today to the Corps for further delay is just the latest in a series of overt and transparent political actions by an administration which has abandoned the rule of law in favor of currying favor with a narrow and extreme political constituency. The statement read, "For people to talk about the abandonment of the rule of law in the face of repeated treaty violations would be laughable if all the money and the arms and the political will were not on the side of the oil companies." So the camps are remaining at Standing Rock over winter. And winter is cold. There's been a lot of people joining the protests in the fall. But many of the natives say, well, people were coming and making it kind of like a celebration or a Woodstock event. But these people are not going to stay because to get through a North Dakota winter, you have to really be from here. And Spontaneous Hopeful Monster, our house band here, played this past Friday at a benefit for Standing Rock that was at the Heirloom Restaurant, raising money for supplies for the people who are wintering there, and supplies can still be sent to the Standing Rock reservation, and checks could be made out to them. They need our help. And this pipeline needs to be stopped for several reasons. The oil comes from fracking, which in the very process poisons the water and creates earthquakes. And so this poisoning of the water, and the companies are insulated from ever revealing what chemicals they put in the water because it's their private formula. And so we don't know what they're putting into the land. And then people whose wells are poisoned, they settle lawsuits, but then they have gag orders, so we can't find out really what happened. And oil spills happen. In Kalamazoo, there's still oil at the bottom of the river from one that happened in there several years ago. And the alternative route for this is north of Bismarck, but they chose just north of the Native American reservation. Just in case an accident happened, it would affect people of color rather than white people, because most industrial waste zones are located in neighborhoods where people of color are. That's just the truth of what happens in America. So what can we do? Well, the first is our own lifestyle changes. I like the fact that gas is $2 a gallon, but it really shouldn't be. We should use less gas. We should be less dependent upon it. And we need to change our lifestyles, and all of us work towards finding alternative ways to get around and to heat our homes. But then secondly, we can go to the website No DAPL Solidarity and find ways to help. Those of you who are hardy can go to Standing Rock and camp out with the people, or to send money and supplies, or to divest in Citibank and other companies that are supporting the pipeline. This country, in its founding, worked to destroy a people. And despite that, these people are still here, and they are working to save us. We should be mindful of that, and we should work to save them, because by saving them, we are also saving ourselves. The earth is worthy of our respect, and in the words of the Dakota people, Mani Okani, water is life.